Catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.
Exploring how it is reshaping the way we work and create in the digital age. The creator economy has in recent time gained so much relevance and is offering individuals a path to transform their passion, talent, and creativity into livelihoods. Whether you're a YouTuber, you're a podcaster, an artist, or a writer, the opportunities for creators to connect with their audience and monetize their content has never been easier. So today with me is Lydia George, a social media marketing manager. Hi, Lydia.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi. And we have Damola Oyekunle, a digital marketing consultant. Hi, Damola.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here.
Good to have you. And we are going to be discussing the creator economy and how it is shaping the future of work. So without further ado, Lydia, what is the creator economy?
So, if you Google it, it will tell you that it is a software facilitated economy that allows creators earn from their creations. That's simply what it is. It is software facilitated, so it's not a country, it's not a physical economy, entity, but it is software facilitated, meaning it exists on applications and softwares like Instagram, TikTok, all this combined together, and the creators on them are the creator economy and the ability to basically earn from your work. So whether that's through influencing, consulting, any way you're earning, that is part of like the creator economy.
So Damola, can you tell me how this is different from the regular work?
I believe one of the major reason why the creator economy is different from regular jobs is the independence and flexibility, because you are no longer bound by the traditional job hours, 9 to 5 or in truth 9 to 9, and you are able to blend your personality, your personal interests into your professional activities, and you are able to measure your success not by the predefined conventional metrics that we use, but with things like audience engagement or content virality, and then of course after that the monetization aspect of things. So I think those are like the major differences between the creator economy and regular traditional jobs.
You said 9 to 9. I feel like you're not in Lagos, because if you're in Lagos, it's more like 6 to 9 or 4 to 9. But yes, So do you think it is one of the factors that is affecting or is influencing the growth of the creator economy in recent times? Like the movement or transportation, or like the stress of the normal regular jobs?
Personally, I feel like it's always been around, right? The creator economy has been around for the longest time, mostly in foreign countries. But during the rise of COVID, it's sort of like ballooned into like this really huge thing when everybody realized, this is something they could get into. Now, the reason why I am going from this specific direction is because one aspect of the creator economy that most people don't talk about is the fact that even though you are now independent, you have that flexibility, you are now effectively your own boss. And most people don't make the best bosses of themselves, which means they end up working the same 9 to 9,
sure.
Right? So I think if people go into it with the mindset of they are going to the creator economy just because they are trying to skip that time frame, it's going to actually take a bit of time to balance out. So I think it was the rise of COVID, then of course our technological advancement that's increased the rise of creators. For example, now we have Seller, which made it extremely easy for people to create and host courses. We have TikTok Live that made it easy for people to go live and start monetizing their content. So all those things definitely played a huge role in the rise of the creator economy.
Lydia, what other factors do you think has affected the rise of the creator economy?
For me, I think it was stories. Like in Africa, there are this is literally a continent of stories, from the inception of what we now know as Africa and what we now know as Nigeria. We've somehow created this very interesting history for ourselves. So now, creating history and creating identity for ourselves. So people want to share those stories, and not just the African story. It's also now the personal story. A lot of people have stories of their lives.
True.
People have stories of their life, from survivor stories to growth stories. People have stories. So when people saw, especially during COVID, when people saw, okay, this is a way I could change other people's lives, and this is a way I can do it from the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
People jumped on it because why not? The creator economy really comes from the inception of it really comes from a place of value. People wanted to share value, people wanted to give value to each other, and people found ways to do it through their stories, through their daily lives. Imagine there are wonderful accounts of moms, you see the whole thing of them getting pregnant, giving birth, having children. And while this might just look like to you, because I'm not a mom, this might just look like a woman posting about her kids. Someone is learning about what food their child would probably like. Someone is learning about what playtime activities is best for their child. Someone is learning about things to do when you're pregnant. And personally, I saw a woman's birth story that made me say, okay, epidurals, here we go, right? People are learning from these things. So the whole idea of the creator economy came from a place of value, and people wanted to share stories. So yes, there is an unlimited pool of stories in the world, an unlimited pool of stories in people's lives. So the creator economy is the birth of people being able to tell their story in public.
True, I really agree with that. But also, people say that, we're trying to make money. Everybody's trying to make money. Damola, is there something you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Yeah, like I could relate to what she said, especially the example of pregnant women and all of that. I mean, I don't have kids, but I end up seeing things like how to burp a child, how to identify a couple of common ailments that are common there, but here in Nigeria, we just usually assume they are normal things, stuff like that. So that part of things has definitely been interesting. But for me, again, maybe because I come from the marketing consultant perspective, at the end of the day, I'm like, what's the money part of things? It's all well and good.
Exactly.
So how are you monetizing it? So that's usually where I look at things from. But yeah, it's definitely been helpful.
Yes, and that brings me to my next question: monetization. How do creators monetize their work, and what platforms? I've heard a lot about YouTube, but we have seen everybody saying TikTok, I need to do this, or TikTok has gotten to the extent of AI's live, and you're like, hi, welcome, thank you for the roses, thank you. And it's funny, but really, how do creators make their money? How they monetize, and what platforms are the best for monetization?
Okay, so I think I would say at Seller, we have this thing we've had going on for this phrase we have going on for the longest time. My knowledge makes me money. It's all about knowledge. And when you talk about knowledge, people automatically, when I've been privileged to go out and, on behalf of Seller, say these things to people, your knowledge will make you money. And when I say that, people automatically go to deep things, deep type of knowledge, like what Damola does, how to run Facebook ads. I will go to these really deep things, and I'm just like, you're missing the point. Well, that is what you know and fine, but this is you're going too deep. Let's calm down. Knowledge can be as simple as how to be a producer. Knowledge can be as simple as how to burp your baby. Knowledge can be as simple as what to give your baby in the first 5 months of being born. That's knowledge. Knowledge is acquired. Knowledge is not just acquired by going to school and doing this and passing exams. Knowledge is acquired by everyday activities. And those things ultimately form your story. Again, I'm back to story. All those things ultimately form a part of your story. So your story will give you knowledge. The things you've been through in life will give you knowledge. You see, I've seen a digital product, because we often just go in and see what people are creating in Africa, and it's so beautiful to see. And I've come across a digital product that was about how to make egusi soup. Now, this might seem very egusi soup, okay, check, but she knows how to do this thing powerfully. She knows how to make the best egusi soup, and that's her knowledge. That's That's her knowledge, and she will teach it and she will earn from it. So it's simple. Monetizing is simple. Take away all the talk of numbers, this and that. It all boils down to one thing. What do you know, and how can you share what you know and earn for it? That's the simple idea of making money in the creator economy.
So Damola, what platforms are helping
I love
creators?
Her point. Yeah, I wanted to just quickly buttress what she said and then add a couple of other, just some additions to it. Right. So she mentioned how it doesn't have to be something complicated, like something specialized. In my case, I teach Facebook ads, digital marketing, those types of things, but it goes way beyond that. She mentioned somebody cooking and selling egusi. That's knowledge. That's something you can sell, right? And then there are also other monetization platforms, and I felt the need to actually mention them for some people, because not everybody wants to monetize knowledge specifically, but they still want to make money through, what they do, what they create, their stories and the like. So we have other options like ads revenue. You mentioned YouTube. So YouTube is a very good option. That's YouTube ads, YouTube AdSense for either on YouTube itself or Google AdSense for the bloggers. We have sponsorships. A lot of creators enjoy sponsorships. I feel like it's a very easy way to make money if you are popular. You see people doing the whole brand ambassador kind of gig, and then you hear the kind of prices some people call for those types, and you're like, okay, this makes it makes a lot of sense. I found out recently, I think Lai Wasabi should be at roughly 2 million per skit.
Wow.
For sponsorship, not even brand ambassador. So
that's amazing.
Those are it made me start reconsidering my career. I could. So, you have all those options. You have Patreon for the people that can receive money from foreign countries. You can do Patreon. You can have membership platforms. Take, for example, the lady that was teaching how to make egusi soup. I'm pretty sure she knows how to make other types of soup. She can potentially have a membership situation where she's teaching people every week or every month. She's teaching them something specific, a different type of soup. So those are like different options, different monetization options that creators can use. And then in terms of platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, apparently a lot of those skit makers on Facebook make a ton of money from those videos that we would watch and be like, this is not funny. Apparently they make a lot of money from it. So, all of those are options that can be used for monetizing their knowledge, for monetizing their creation.
Yeah, beautiful. So we've also seen that people seem to think that the rise of Gen Z is the rise of content creation. But really, how do you think that the creator economy is affecting regular jobs? Because it can be that, I don't know, a lot of people have stopped to work. In fact, a lot of people have taken their regular jobs like, I beg, I don't have to do this because I can just stay in my house and be making, I can be making money, and you want me to come and be saying yes to somebody. So how do you think it has affected the regular jobs and job industries really?
So just as you said, it currently promotes more of that gig-based and flexible work model. So people are able to work from home, potentially have like multiple side gigs and make more money from that. Then second thing, which affects my industry more, or my niche anyways, is that it's forcing industries to adapt to the new content creation trends. So gone are the days of just putting up something and just with the barest of efforts. Now you see companies hiring skit makers and the likes to help them create like content that they can then use for advertising. So it's actually a win-win, because now it encourages companies to collaborate with creators either directly or through hubs. There was one I saw recently that has a collation of creators, and then you can just hire them through the platform to help you like a video or something for your product. So it's definitely had a lot of impact on regular jobs and industries.
So I saw a tweet recently and it says, "Dear marketers, it's not just Gen Zs that are on social media. And I saved the tweets. I bookmarked it for future use. But it was an important tweet. It was such a short tweet, but it's an important tweet because in my line of work, when people are drafting out strategies, you cannot sleep without seeing Gen Z on it. And people forget that there are mothers using this thing. My mom is not a Gen Z. I can assure you. My mother is not Gen Z. My dad uses social media. He's not Gen Z. Many people use social media and they are certainly not part of like the Gen Z generation. So what are these other people doing? What are they seeing? What kind of content are they consuming? You have to ask yourself that in any line of work as a creator. What is your life like? Are you living the life that is appealing to a Gen Z? I mean, my day-to-day life is not appealing to a Gen Z.
It's not the pearl.
I live such a very boring life. So if I was to start creating content, who would I target? I can't just go and say, oh, Gen Z. No, that's not my life. So people have to ask themselves what your life is. Now, for people, of the other generation joining social media, there's content for every single person on social media. There's a content for every single person on social media. And I will continue to say this for the rest of my life. There is content for everybody. There is news content. Oftentimes, I get what the dollar is from Twitter. And most people my age don't really care what the dollar is. Oh, okay. Now we care. Now we care. Since didn't get to know. Now we care. But like my younger brother is not really concerned what the dollar is. Right? So there's content for everybody. And with brands now tapping into the creator economy, that's a story. However, what I would say is I love it for my people and I love it for the brands too. But then at the same time, it's really important that it is done wisely, right? A lot of brands are tapping into the creator economy and to the influencer market. And I see the post and I see the skits and I'm like, I understand why, but no, right? So people, while everybody is like, there's a high now of like the creator economy and tapping into the creator economy, and brands like Salah, that is what we do, right? Sometimes you just look at brands. I understand your time to tap into this market, but like you need to be more strategic about it. That's what I would say. People need to. Yes, it's a wonderful high. People are creating content, and content is a way to reach tons of people, but then really find what fits for you. Really, really find what fits for you. That's what I'll say about it. Because if I say any other thing,
Thank you. Damola mentioned Lai Wasabi, and he mentioned how he's like making like 2 million plus. You understand?
I love it for him.
But the thing is, how do creators balance financial stability, trying to make money, and their creative freedom? Because it gets to a point where we stop listening or we stop watching certain skit makers because we think, I beg, every minute you're advertising, every minute is advertisement. So how do you balance this freedom to create and trying to make money with brands?
Okay, so my advice for anybody that's kind of like in this situation where you found some sort of like fame through content, through your content and through social media, I think I'll come from the very emotional side of it, and then I'll come from like the very brand marketing part of it. Number one, be okay to say no. It's fine to say no. It's fine. And saying no can be scary because you're like, this is a job where we're almost trying to live from paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes it feels like, okay, I don't have money till the next paycheck arises. But then that's why you're supposed to get smart, right? So okay, I have this level of influence and I need to survive XYZ. Are you living with your mom, yada, yada, yada? Put all of those together. What is your cost of living? What is your rent like? What's your cost of living like? And then find a good rate where you know that, okay, if I don't get any other job for a span of like 2 months, which is hardly, if you found that kind of fame, there's no way you won't find a job for 2 months. But let's give you worst case scenario. You don't have work for 2 months. What can you live on that thing? Right? So if you're only charging 1 million, not only 1 million is a lot of money, Lydia, but if you're charging 1 million, now you have to position your life according to that 1 million. You can't be having 1 million and then you're popping you're popping
Azul
in somewhere. You're popping Azul somewhere. It won't work out for you. So you have to learn financial discipline, because now, like Damola said, you're essentially your own boss. Yeah. And now you have to figure out a way to be a good boss.
Yep.
It's easy for us that we go to work and I know Douglas will release my money on a particular day. I know. So I can position my mind. But now you are your own boss. So how do you manage your life according to that manner? Then let's come from like the marketing aspect of it. In marketing, you want to get as many jobs as possible. As a creator, you're essentially some sort of like a marketer. You want to get as many jobs as possible. But now, does it fit? Does it fit? So let me give you a terrible example. Sorry for like people that wouldn't want to hear this, but imagine Lai Wasabi coming to sell ladies pads. Would you buy pad from Lai Wasabi? Would you buy sanitary towels from?
It would depend.
Like if it's a sponsor, or if
Damola, would you buy?
It would depend, but I don't think it fits
if
the
it's a
brand.
sponsor.
Exactly, you have to.
I might. But if he like brands it as his own, I mean that's weird. But maybe if it was
I think I'll buy more when it is his own than when it's like
sponsor. Like, why are you getting him? Why can't you get one female to do that?
So you really just have to be concerned about what fits.
I mean, he could potentially partner with a female, which is the smart choice
exactly.
anyway. So they are using his brand,
own.
but with the female.
Yeah, I think I'll prefer if it's like, okay, I'm launching a pad brand because of XYZ, rather than I was having coming one day in his kids to sell pads to me. You have to find what fits, and when you find what fits, it's when you will be able to get that ROI you're looking for as a marketer. So let's say you give Lai Wasabi Best Naija to market. You've seen his skits. He talks about GNCC. Money
gets money.
He talks about it. So you're probably giving him Bet Naija to sell. I would understand why he's selling Bet Naija. Now, I will be able to tap into it. I'll be able to tap on any link he gives me or use any discount code he gives me. That's a marketer's ROI, not views. I'm concerned about who taps on your link, and I'm concerned about who uses
conversion.
I'm concerned about my conversion. I'm not concerned about so views are cute. They're cute. But imagine having 10,000 views and 0 link taps. What do you want me to go and tell my boss? I don't want to explain it to him. So you really have to find what fits and be okay saying no when you know this thing doesn't fit. You're not just collecting people's money and saying that, okay, I can promise you XYZ, but you really have to be concerned about what fits. So that's what I'll say.
Damola, please. Is there anything you want to add to? Yeah.
In addition to that, I would only talk about the need for creators to diversify their income stream.
Yes,
because
lovely.
Just as Lydia said, you can't depend on just one stream. If something happens, then you'll be looking like granuts, and that's really not. It's not the most creative of things, right? So you have to make sure you diversify your income stream, and then number 2, you have to make sure you maintain a balance between your sponsored posts and your original content.
Yeah.
Because again, just as you rightly said, if you post so much sponsored posts, people would forget that they loved you before.
Thank you, Damola.
Yeah.
They're also going to forget that you have to eat, but I mean,
let's not forget that, please.
You kind of have to find a balance between them just to make sure you keep people happy, because people happy means more sponsorship, which means more money, and more money means more creativity in general. You're able to think better when you have money in your bank account, not when you are very hungry.
True.
So that's what I would like to add in addition to that.
Yorubas will say that it is the okoinu that we used to carry the strength of the inside that you used to carry that of outside. Yeah,
exactly.
So as content creators, really, is there do you people ever go through issues of maybe copyright, intellectual property? I know that movies, musicians, you say, like recently, a musician, should I call him a veteran in the music industry, came out and said, oh, this person, can't you hear it? He copied my song. Oh, can't you hear it? So do you, as content creators, do you think you people ever go through that time when somebody says, oh, this person is stealing my ideas, or this is my intellectual property?
Yeah. let me give you position of this. Let me talk about it as from seller's point of view.
Yeah.
It happens a lot, right? There are a lot of stories where people have outrightly taken people's courses and resold them,
Wow.
right? Where people take people's ebooks and resold them. And that's why I'm so happy about the work that's done on Seller, where number one, if you're hosting a course on Seller, nobody can screen record it. If you're screen recording my course, I'll see your email.
Come and meet you like, excuse me.
Excuse me. By the time you
Yeah, that
repost,
was a great addition.
by the time you repost the course, you see the email at the top of like the screen. So now I know you've copied my course. If you report a case of like copyright to Seller, you will be asked for a definite proof of like, okay, proof.
Yeah.
And then the person who has stolen your work would definitely be blocked. Bye-bye. Right? So as creators, this happens in every industry. People get in technology, science, people get patents for this reason.
Yeah.
Right.
trademarks and stuff.
You cannot stop people from copying your work. You cannot stop it. But what you can do is protect yourself. So when you copy my work, what happens next? If I have copyrighted a particular word and you then want to come and use it, you will hear from my lawyers.
You will hear from my lawyer.
It's not that you cannot use it though. You can use it. Go ahead. Put it in your work. Go ahead. But it's now a thing of you will hear from my lawyers. And again, that's why I'm so happy about things we do as Seller, because if at any point our job is to protect, not just give creators a platform, but also protect them, right?
Yeah.
So things from like people, the email showing at the top of your course for people to take your courses are non-downloadable. Your ebooks, you can set them to be non-downloadable, so it can only be read online.
Yeah.
If it is downloaded and you see somebody else selling it, you can report that. Or if you see, it's not just if you report. There are times we've seen it. This is the same as this, right?
Yeah.
And then one person, you go into like the whole investigation when one person
Who
is
brought
at
it
the end
out
of the
first.
yes.
Yeah.
So you have to protect yourself, and that's why even using things like Seller is very important, right? So there is even an article on our blog if you care to see how to protect yourself from copyright. It was written by our marketing team, but in collaboration with a lawyer, a creator, and a product manager at Seller. It's a really insightful blog post. So the lawyer shares how you can protect yourself. He breaks down the legal terms. The creator shares experiences, and our PM tells you exactly how Seller can help you and how tools like Seller can help you. Yeah.
Can
So-
you say the name of so that people that are willing to check it out, or maybe say the email?
The blog is seller.co/blog. Just when you
How to
get there,
protect
you see
yourself.
it.
Seller.co/blog.
Yes, when you get there, you see the blog post. I think it's at the top. right now.
Damola, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, the two major, apart from, that's from the knowledge perspective, which definitely is very important, because as Lydia said, a lot of people copy and paste other people's content, so it's a bit of a hassle. But for the rest of the general creator economy that don't do knowledge selling, I would advise the need for trademarks if possible. For example, Sabinus and Something Huge.
Yeah, I remember.
That's a good example of trademarking. Then number two is contracts, using contracts to protect yourself, because you see situations where a creator has created something and then the brand is like, oh, they're no longer interested, but then the brand still goes ahead
to use it.
To use it.
So they can try to protect themselves with contracts to at least reduce the chances of that happening, and even if it happens, at least they have a higher chance of potentially winning court cases in situations like that.
Very true. So there is the issue of relationships, right? Because without the audience, really, there's no creator. So how do you think that the relationship between creators and their audience has led to the growth of the creators economy?
So let's look at this from one thing I'm currently happy about is the fact that African creators are now being seen, not just by people that look like them and feel what they feel, but by the obodobes. the people abroad. People in Italy are viewing people's content.
The obodoyibo.
Yeah, the obodoyibo.
No, you have to touche it.
The obodobes. They're seeing us.
Yeah.
And it is very important. And one of the most important things for any economy is trade. right? So you cannot have a floor, not just trade inside between me and you and me and you. There has to be international trade,
Yes.
right? So because now there are now platforms that allow you get seen by those people. You can now share what you have to share your knowledge with them, collect their money. Share your knowledge with them, collect their money. Share your knowledge with this person, collect their money. So the exchange is going on, and that's how it is growing. So I released a report, and with every year we see from just our end, right? We can only collect the full data from just our end, but we see what the economy is worth. I don't know if it was this year or last year, it was what's over 2 billion or 6
Whoa, the creator economy.
the creator
Lovely.
economy.
Wow.
And not the world's creator economy.
Yes.
Africa's creator economy. That is
Yeah.
all worth billions now. And that was just last time we collected that data. Imagine what it's going to be like in
now.
November.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
amazing.
So trade must happen.
True.
And before now, what really slowed this growth was not because there are no creative people. It was the problem of trade was such a big issue. Because open a DOM account.
A PayPal account.
We
need
whatever
to. PayPal
account.
is not. I don't think PayPal is even
There's no
accepting us.
PayPal for us.
There's
Except
no
we are
PayPal
using
for
virtual
Nigerians.
assets.
There are so many
Yeah.
things that are not available for us.
Yes.
And then somebody woke up one morning and said, you know what? Let's create a feature where you can earn in dollars, hence Seller. So
That's where seller took my money.
I'm happy we collect
just
it.
pick
We
all
do
of it,
notice your
please.
money. So trade must happen.
Yeah.
So you have to there has to be a way where trade becomes easier. And that's where tools like Seller came in. Okay, you can sell your product in any currency you want. You want to sell in Ghanaian cedi, collect it. You want to sell in USD,
I'll sell in pounds,
You want to sell
please.
in pounds, collect it. So that was the big problem. It wasn't that, Africans are not creative. That was not the issue. It was, number one, how do we get us to see you? And that's where stories come in. The African story is such a beautiful story. And
The
now
real African
the real
story,
African
not the one
story.
they think they know.
It's now it's such a beautiful story. We're not struggling. Some people are
We're
popping
not hungry.
1 million naira drink somewhere.
We're not hungry.
We're not hungry. So people had to see those stories and get a glimpse into what our actual lives were, and also get value from us. Hence trade. So it's not just money trade; it's also human trade. Imagine Woman King came out and we saw a Nigerian there. Do you know? I think anybody knew what it felt like to see an actual Nigerian
They're
man.
proud. Their farms in like, it's Nigeria.
I felt so happy. You check the end credits of movies and you're seeing Nigerians as co-producers, Nigerians as producer, manning the camera is a Nigerian. This not human trade in the bad way, please. There's trade of labor, please. There's now trade of labor, and our trade of labor is getting seen. So we had to exchange money, and that's why tools like Seller came in. Then we had to now exchange labor, and that's where international platforms and people are allowing their platforms to be used to share the African story. So you see talk shows like Steve Harvey's talk shows, you will see people are bringing Africans to hear our story, not from the documentaries that
they did.
but our stories, our way.
Yes.
So people now see us. It's important that they see you. Now they've seen us. Let's collect their money. So, dear creators, collect that money.
Collect your money.
Collect your money.
Tamala, is there anything you want to add to what she said?
So basically, just in relation to the first question, I believe creators should make sure they rely on their audience feedback to get content direction and monetization strategies, because I mean your audience they're not directly feeding you, obviously, but they are technically feeding you, because without them
There's no
you cannot get the sponsorship, the brand ambassadorship, the selling of knowledge and the rest. So when you listen to them, you are able to better create things that are in tune to them. Of course, the creator should not lose their personality in the process of trying to just please the audience, because it's also going to backfire, So that's the quick addition I'm just going to tack on to that.
And before we move on from there, there's just something so beautiful about a creator that's in tune with their audience. So I look at creators like Salem King and how Salem has this thing where everybody in his comment section is giving attention. It's such a beautiful thing to see, and even me as an individual, when I saw when Salem first started, he tells the story all the time, and it's lovely. I saw where he first started, and I see where he is now, and it's like, you go, king.
Like,
and
do
then
you?
In all of that, there's never been a situation
anywhere.
where Salem was not. He felt less human. Salem, I feel like I know Salem, like Salem, my neighbor. And that's because of the relationship he has with his audience. So it's not that, somebody asks you a question and I know you see it, but you don't want to answer. It's important that you have these conversations. Find a way to... At a point, when growth starts and when growth picks up, it feels... You become less reachable. And because you're less reachable, your brand might start to lack a humanity aspect to it. Especially when you start doing sponsored posts, it starts to lack that humanity to it. So you being able to say, okay, we're going to have a Q&A every single week. I'm going to go on live session and talk with you every single week. I'm going to tell stories that you can relate to. Very important. You can relate to every single week. And then, after telling those stories and putting it online, I'm going to have conversations with you in the comment section. At least every of you that I can see, I will talk to you in the comment section. It just makes you feel... And anything you need.
And you always want to... Like, you'll be like, first to be here, first to get here.
And anything you drop.
Yeah.
Check Salem's stories or check his views. Anything you drop, if you drop an ad, as long as you're able to communicate that ad in a human way, people will eat it up. I have MTN SIM. God knows why I have MTN. Right? And I have so many apps that I don't need. God knows why I have those apps. Well, it was somebody that told me go and download this app. So yes, be human.
Be human. Now we
Very
want to
important.
talk about new creators, people that are just coming in. What do you think are skills and strategies that would assist a new creator to succeed in this creator economy?
So the first one and most important, obviously, is content creation.
Yeah.
Because without it, I mean, you're probably in the wrong niche, you know. So the first one is content creation. Second one is audience engagement, which is where you learn how to engage your audience the right way so that they can bring more people to bring more people. You understand?
Yeah.
Like MLM, I'll be waiting at the column.
MMM.
You know?
Ponzi.
MMM, yeah. Actually, all of them together. So then, of course, you need brand management, which is extremely important. It might not be important when you first start out, but the more you grow, the more you need it. And if you did not have any idea of brand management when you were starting out, you might not. It might be a bit hard for you to push through some specific types of barriers. So having that content creation skill, learning how to engage your audience, and having that knowledge of brand management are very, very important skills that would help you be a successful creator.
For me, one important thing, because I've worked with freelancers. I work with freelancers a lot. And one thing I will say is learn client success. That's very important. No matter who your client is, whether it is people buying an ebook or it is one client that communicates with you, maybe a social media management contract or whatever it is, learn client management. Learn how to be kind to people. Learn integrity. Learn how to say, I will give you this and you give me this. Now, integrity is not necessarily saying, okay, if I tell you I'll give you a pen on Monday, I'll give you a pen on Monday. But it says, if I'm not able to give this pen on Monday, you will know either on Monday morning or before Monday that I cannot get this pen to you, right? Learn how to talk to people is very important. Learn how to build relationships, because relationships will get you a long way. Relationships is what will give you the space. Okay, I want to work with seller. Okay, who do I know as seller? If you've built relationships, you can text me or you can text someone else as seller and say, hey, I want to do XYZ with seller. Is this possible? You have a relationship with this person. So relationships will help you walk through doors easier than most people will ever be able to walk through those doors. And then when you get to those relationships, how do you now treat your clients? How do you treat the people you're serving? It's very important. Learn integrity, learn client management, and learn to be a servant. Not like growling on the road, but learn to serve people. Because at the end of the day, whatever you're posting online is value for somebody and you're serving that person. So it's important that you learn how to serve. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So as we round up, I have like a few more questions, maybe 2 questions.
Okay.
Do you see, like, in the incoming times, is there a trend that you think would affect the future of work through the creator economy?
Trend. Ha ha ha.
So for me, I think the major trend we would see would be the increased use of AI and
Yes.
augmented reality. People are going to be using more of both of them. I mean, we're already seeing the AI part of things. Some creators are beginning to sort of duplicate themselves. I mean, if you see what Meta is doing now, Meta actually licensed a couple of top
Yeah. Those are celebrities.
creators, and
Yeah,
you can chat with them. They are posting, and I still think that's a very, very interesting way to
Feature.
go about things. But I mean, it's all totally well and fine. So we're definitely going to see an increased use of AI. Then augmented reality would definitely be something that I think we'll see more of, which has more to do with the marketing side of things. But yeah, those two things, it's definitely trending upwards. Are definitely trending upwards.
I would say work culture. And this is very funny, depending, because now you're talking about like people that are their own bosses. But work culture this trend of work culture would influence people, because one thing that really strengthens the creator economy now is not that one creator becomes a creator and then what happens? They start giving out jobs to other people, to other creators. They start outsourcing. So let me use myself for an example. I have a content assist, right? So she helps me with content. Now, how do I treat her? How do I treat her? What do I pay her? So this new trend of like what it means to work and what the vibe should be like when you come to work would really influence like what happens in the future, because creators are already employers of labor, and you will see this in the reports we recently wrote this year. Creators are now employers of labor. So how are you treating your employees? So it's not just about the corporate people don't want us to breathe. Now you're the corporate person. You're the corporate person. It might be a bougie and very creative type of corporate, but you're now a corporate person. Some people are getting CACs, and people are trademarking, people are hiring lawyers, hiring this. You are now the corporation, right? The corporation is you. So how are you treating other people? So if you are such a terrible person to work with, such an ineffective boss, and if all of us remain like that, this economy will crash. Because now it will die with a particular set of people. So people have to learn how to become good bosses to keep things going. Do you want your business to, because you're the corporation, but you can still live on after you're dead? So how do you treat people? How do you treat your employees? So pay well. You must realize that pay is important. Please pay well as a creator. Don't hire if you're not ready to pay well. And then treat those people well. Treat those people like you want to be treated. Because again, you're now the corporate boss. Yeah, that's it. Work culture.
Thank you very much. And finally, do you think that the creator economy, would keep evolving and affecting the job market in years to come? Do you think this is a forever thing? It has come to stay, or is there?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely here to stay. It's already shaping new forms of entrepreneurship where people are diversifying into different niches, not just the general ones that we know. For example, again, still using the one about pregnant women, you see the ones for women who are just giving birth, you see some for life, you see some for mental health. ADHD is very popular abroad. You see different creators across all these niches, so it's definitely shaping new forms of entrepreneurship, and it's going to encourage or keep encouraging more people to pursue independent content creation as a career instead of the traditional 9-to-5 role. So we'll definitely see a lot more people heading towards there.
Oh, thank you very much, Damola. Thank you, Lydia, for joining me today. And thank you, Selah, for coming in collaboration with Africa Tech Radio to put this together. This is the second part of our 3-part series for the creator economy. There's another one that's going to be next week on the 21st, and it's been an exciting time, as I can say that I'm coming into content creation. Don't worry, little by little I'm doing it.
I mean, a day in your life will be very interesting.
I did something like that. My friends were like, oh my god, this is so amazing. I had like a lot of views. So I think I'm going to continue.
You should.
I think I have stories.
I think you have a very interesting job.
Yes, I do actually, and I have stories too.
Yes.
So you're giving me inspiration. So I'm going to keep on doing that. So I really want to thank you for joining us, and I've really learned a lot, and I know that I'm going to put this in place. And for people, I want everybody to know that content creation is not just content creation. It's a lot of things. I feel people think it's just jokes, it's just cruise. There's a lot of intricacies that have to do with content creation. But if you're creating content already, just keep at it, keep doing it, and one day you're going to make the big money, the big bucks. So thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to keep listening to Africa Tech Radio, and to join us on all our social media platforms at Africa Tech Radio. It was lovely to join you.
Thank you so much
to speak to you.
Same here.
Thank you for coming on Cruise Control. Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.